Hello everybody, my name is Starruptor and welcome to the channel. This is a very exciting video review for me to create because today I'm reviewing Star Wars Ronin, a Visions novel written by Emma Mieko Candon, and this is based off of the Star Wars Visions short The Duel, which is one of my favorite out of the 9 short animated films that were released on Disney Plus earlier this year. So this book, just like Visions, is non-canon. So yes, this is the first book that Del Rey has published in the Star Wars universe after 2014 or whenever they did the whole canon reset, that this is not actually in the official timeline with like Luke Han and the Mandalorian and all those. No, this is its own separate entity. The first time we're ever getting a book like this. This is why this is a very monumentous occasion with the review of this book. So diving into this, what's really cool about this book is it starts off exactly like we have seen on Star Wars Visions with The Duel, where we have that whole sequence with the village and the bandit leader, but then it actually takes that and goes further, much further, and that's where Emma Mieko really gets into the nuts and bolts of creating her own Star Wars galaxy. So this is really Star Wars at its heart, with an Eastern tradition spin with the myth and the lore that comes out of Japanese culture. And it really just does this great weaving of just Star Wars and Japanese culture like you wouldn't believe. But at its heart, it really is like that hero's journey, this character of Ronin traveling not just, through a planet, he's actually going through the galaxy, just like, you might see like Luke Skywalker or the Mandalorian Din Djarin, right? So there is this really great plot at its center with so many awesome characters that are revolving around him and just everything that's basically like the original Star Wars A New Hope. Like there is a MacGuffin that he is after for the majority of this story that leads him to a greater discovery. And that's really all I want to give away for this overall plot synopsis is, yes, a character is going on a hero's journey led by a certain object that they want, which could reverse things that have happened in the past. And that's as much as I'm going to say because, man, oh man, the twists and turns in this book are phenomenal. What's really helped out by that is because these are all brand new characters, all brand new locations. And that is what's great about the writing with Emma. You just see how much fun she's having with writing these characters, writing just everything that transpires in this book, having literally no handcuffs to certain timelines or certain locations where characters should be, because all of this was made up in her head, right? With help from the people that created Duel, Kamikaze Doza. So this is really just something that we haven't seen. And it's hard for me to just describe it because I'm so used to like, okay, this is set up here, this is set up there, but it lets your mind expand. And it's a really great, seamless adaptation from The Duel, and how these creators must have maybe, I don't know if they had any kind of communication, but to see how it goes from The Duel and expands and having this Star Wars story all told in one book, I thought it was amazing. A little bit over 300 pages, so it's not the biggest Star Wars book, but what Emma packs into this story is so vast. She creates her own Star Wars universe literally in this one 300-page book, and you can pick this book up. Even if you aren't a Star Wars fan, you'd get a lot of enjoyment out of this. So that's what makes this very unique, is I can recommend this to basically any reader. If you like any kind of fantasy and you don't want to know everything, you don't feel like you have to know anything about Star Wars to get into this. Or you may be seeing A New Hope, right? Okay, I can see elements of certain things in that, but this is really one of those unique situations where you can just go ahead and pick this thing up and just enjoy it from the front to back. I will say that the coolest thing about this book, one of the coolest things, is just the way that they are able to skate. Emma is able to skate between Japanese culture and Star Wars. So lots of themes, such as her version of the Force and how she explains it in her story is, from what I gathered, is the Force is almost like a yin and a yang. Like there's like the black current, and there's also the white flare, and it's switched on the top of its head, right? You think the white flare is what the good guys would use, but no, it's flipped. It's actually the bad dark side Sith users are using the white flare, and the black current is being used by the Jedi. You also have witches and resurrection and lots of honor, lots of looking to the elders. So those are very much traditions and standby points for people of the Japanese and the Eastern cultures. And it's really neat seeing all these characters. Like, you basically have the backdrop of this story, right, is you have a 20-year rebellion of the Sith rebelling against the Jedi and against this empire that has different clans of Jedi that are vying for power for the Emperor that is going to pass away very soon. So you have these different princes and these different clans, and you have bandits and bounty hunters. So it really is Star Wars at its core, but it's not like Star Wars you've ever seen before. I do like the crossover of the Star Wars kind of with the Japanese as far as the visuals go. If you can picture in your head, like, you have droids with like bamboo straw hats. You have different kind of lightsaber designs, which are more like staves or more like different kind of katanas, different things like that. You have, like, they explain like they're different things like the paper walls or like the pagodas, which are like those like triangular pyramid structures aboard like Star Destroyers. So it's like the things we know in Star Wars, but just put through an Eastern kind of lens, which I thought was really neat. You still have the species like the Dugs, like the Grands, you know, the Star Wars species we all know and love. The kimonos, like the different characters are wearing literally kimonos. It's really neat there. And what I will say is the writing is very challenging, but it's rewarding getting through it. Being able to get through this book, you know, I took my time with this book. It's been out for at least a week now, but I took my time really just diving in and just experiencing Star Wars in a different way. And the way she's able to write the characters that are very unique, all on their own right. You have a pilot, you have just this old elderly woman that is a non-force sensitive but very good with combative. You have different characters such as maybe a force user without giving anything away. Just a lot of great dynamics between the characters as well, where you really get a well-rounded picture of where they've been and how their journeys conclude in this. The only negative I will say is this book does really get very deep sometimes, to the point where it kind of lost me. It really gets metaphysical at certain points that just made it a little bit hard for me to grasp, and I maybe had to go back and read the same passages maybe 2 or 3 times to really understand. But with that being said, I gotta give Ronin, a Visions novel, a 9 out of 10. This is easily one of the best Star Wars stories I've read in a while, because it certainly is unique, but at its core, it's got a very great story that's going to have many twists and turns that will leave you guessing what's coming up next and leaving you with thoughts of, wow, I never thought I could experience Star Wars through this kind of lens. So what did you guys think of Ronin, a Visions story? Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think of Visions? I have my discussions on the YouTube channel right now about Star Wars Visions, so you can check those out. And also make sure you go ahead and subscribe while you're at it, so that way you don't miss out on any future Star Wars book reviews. I also have my Star Wars podcast, Outer Rim Transmission. You can listen to us on Apple, on Google, on Spotify, and also watch us on YouTube. That is going to do it for me, Star Raptor. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Star Raptor.